Alright guys, today is Wednesday. We got a brand new drop list. So stay tuned.
Woo!
Welcome back, Gainers, to another incredible, exciting, fantastic, marvelous episode of Comic Gains! And if you're new to the show, I'm Adam.
I'm Zach and the Princess, Her Royal Highness, doing that princess wave, looking lovely like usual, so bow down and respect.
Nice. Alright guys, so you made it to Wednesday. You made it to another drop list. We've been laying them down week after week. So, like we've been doing, we have the drop list. So 1 year ago today, we searched the internet for the hot comics of the world, and we found the ones that have took the biggest dives. At least the ones we think took the biggest dives. So books that were hot then, that are cooled off now, and maybe which ones Zach or the princess think you should buy. I don't really have an opinion on that. But they do. They seem to have a good opinion. So we'll let you guys know. We also have a cool Silver Age comic that we bought from Who Dat Comics. We're really excited to open with you. And I think that's it. There is one other thing we're also really excited to open, and that is
a beer. Oh, I just dropped it.
Oh.
It was not open though. We got here a Pineapple Stash House Pineapple IPA by Crypto Hops, Hop Valley. Crypto Hops is the version. I think Hop Valley is the company. So it's Hop Valley, guys. It got pineapple.
Would you say it's a double pineapple?
It could be a double pineapple.
I wonder why they called it that. Because it looked like it's not an apple. Like a pine cone on an apple?
Pineapple. You take a pine, you take an apple, put them all together. Pineapple pear. No, that's not right.
Pineapple pear? That sounds kind of good.
Oh, yeah.
It tastes good?
It's actually pretty refreshing. Yes.
All right, let's get into it. So
Let's go.
This one had some surprises. A couple big books. I think we had 3 of the books on this list, and one of them is kind of an exciting book. So kind of an exciting one people should be looking out for. But to start it out, we have book number 5. And everyone should know this is a book that's on the princess's to-get list. She doesn't have this book yet, but she wants it. This is Lady Killer's number 1 from Dark Horse Comics, 2015. I don't know if we have done very many Dark Horse comics.
No, not
This
very
is
many.
done by Jolie Jones. I believe she's also the artist and the, what's that called?
Writer?
Oh, my brain. The writer. It's also the writer. So, I haven't read this one, but it seems to be a like murder mystery from the 1960s. So you got kind of like that little bit of older style looking book here. But I think it got optioned a while back, and a year ago in May in 2021, they actually linked up Blake Lively to play the main character for this. So it's been over a year since they linked her to this comic book, and that's why it was hot 1 year ago. Also, be on the lookout, there's an Emerald City Comic-Con exclusive, which has the Space Needle on it, which is kind of cool.
And the light rail?
And the light rail. And the light rail. If you're from Washington, you know and either love or hate the light rail. And Zach, hit us with the numbers.
So, a year ago, $510 for a CGC 9.8.
Woo!
Now, $319.42 for a CGC 9.8. The range, 180 to 510. So, it was down as little as 180. Average, $280.02. I would say it's kind of a mix, depending on what you prefer. I would say get the raw, but if you like graded books, get the 9.8. You'll be happy.
I haven't read it, but it's obviously like a good story if it's that expensive as a raw book. You know, almost like $100 for a raw version of a book that's not even that old, and it's an independent line too. So something's good about this one. I don't know, after the movie comes out or the show I think, if it's Netflix, we'll see. It could take a much bigger dive. You know, you never know with those kind of things if it's going to hold its weight.
If you're not sure and you want to make that money, sell it 3 months before.
Previews, for sure. All right, guys, next up. This is a very interesting and cool book, but our number 4 is Secret Wars, Secret Love, number 1. This is the second print by David Nakayama. This book also came out in 2015. This is a pretty cool book. I didn't know that much about this book. I didn't even know. This is the princesses from her personal collection, but this is a pretty rare book. It's estimated to be in the hundreds on the print run on this, and there's only 5 9/8 on the census that we could find. So that's super, super low. The reason that this book got hot in May of 2021 is one was sold in a 9/8 for $1,000. And as far as we can tell, that was the first sale. Like someone got this graded and then put it up, and that was like one of the first sales in a 9.8 for this one. So yeah, it's obviously really cool. It doesn't have any other significance to it. It's not a key other than it has Kamala Khan on it, looking really cool as a homage. But hit us with the numbers on this one, Zach, because it's pretty cool.
So the range, $1,000 a year ago, crazy. The now price, just recently sold, $60.39. And what did I say range? Anyways, the then price $1,000, now price $60.39. The range is $60.39 to that. It's basically the same numbers, just vice versa. Average $217.68. This book homages the first issue of Our Love Story.
Yeah, exactly.
Looks like from the 1970s.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'll show it right here. Boom.
There it is.
Right, there it is.
Interesting to know, guys. There's 4 of these actually listed on eBay right now. So considering that there's only 5 on the census, 4 of them are available to be bought, and they're all kind of right around that $500 price range. So I don't think people believe they could get it back up to the $1,000, but people aren't selling it for that $67-$70 anymore. I don't know. It's a weird book, but
yeah, that's true.
If you love it, buy it. If you don't, maybe pass on it. But it's rare. It's rare AF.
There's only one thing I know. The person that bought it for $1,000 has some regrets.
a little bit. All right. I think this is going to be a recurring theme this year. But it's going to be every time Bad Idea puts out a book, it's going to be on the hot list, and then a year later it will be on the drop list. But we have Whaleville, #1 from May of 2021. So it came out exactly a year ago. And because it was Bad Idea and it's such a low print run, it made the hot list. And a year later, it makes the drop list. So kind of a cool book. I know, as you can see, Princess found this one at half price books. So not that long ago. I think she picked it up there. Weird little story about a boy who gets swallowed by a whale. And he thinks that his dad's going to exact revenge on this whale. Once he gets swallowed by it, he realizes there's a town inside the whale, and then does not want his father to kill the whale because he's living inside that town, or he appreciates that town. But weird book, what would you call it, Zach? A good idea? Maybe bad idea?
It's an unfortunate idea.
But what are the numbers on this one, though, Zach?
So high sell or year ago, it sold for $67.66. Now it sells for $32 straight half. It sold as low as $22.50 and as high as $80. Average $47.51. Just like any bad idea, you just don't do it unless you have some friends and family to help you out of it. Okay, it's like just don't do it. Just don't.
Well, the cool thing about if you did like the story, you do have the opportunity to buy one for like $30 now in a 9.8, and then you can put it on your wall and be like, I really like this, but I don't know if there's any long-term spec in it, like Zach's saying.
I mean, explaining the story. I mean, if you put it on your wall and you have other people in there, you should have a great story. It's like it's a company from Bad Idea, or it's a book from Bad Idea. It's about a boy that goes in a whale, and then his dad wants to kill the whale with the boy in it. It's like, I don't like it.
We'll see. Never everybody's cup of tea. Okay, next up on the list, number 2 for the week. It's big, it's large, it's giant size X-Men, #1. The book of a million first appearances, but this is from 1975. Strangely enough, May of 1975. No correlation with the list, though. First appearance of Storm, Nightcrawler, Colossus, Thunderbird, and Ileana Rasputin, also known as Magic.
As a baby.
I feel like this book should be expensive just for that reason. And Krakoa was also first appeared in this book. And it's the first time Wolverine's claws did what? Yep, they made that noise. So, cool book. Probably, and this book is not something that's ever going to drop low. It's just kind of like goes in little small waves, I think. And you kind of like surfing, you got to get in on the right wave to ride this out.
Mm-hmm.
But this was kind of was high, a little bit higher than normal last year with a lot of Wolverine spec and a lot of X-Men joining the MCU as a lot of these X-Men keys were getting hot. I know all the single-digit X-Men's are going crazy right now. It's probably kind of in that same run, but it's a little bit of a lull right now. It was a little bit better to buy a couple months ago than it is right now.
Absolutely.
You probably missed out on that one. But what are the numbers on this, Zach?
So a year ago, it was selling for $9,000. Now, 8,200. Not too crazy drop, but it got as low as 6,000.
Criminally low.
And as high as $9,995. Average $8,286.57. I would say buy it raw, unless it drops even more, and buy it graded. If you got extra money, flitting around, why not? Just do it. But yeah, get it raw. Get it raw, I would say.
It's, you're not going to go wrong ever buying this book. And if you did buy it on the high, you just got to wait like 3 years and you'll be back on the low again. So It's not going to matter. But, it just depends. You might be able to save yourself $1,000 or $500 if you buy it at the right time, and it'll go right back up.
And that wasn't a 9.0. 9.0. CGC 9.0.
Yeah.
Not CBCS.
All right. Last but not least, we do have this book, but I don't know. We didn't find it. We didn't grab it for the list. But we have Department of Truth #1 from 2020. This is cover A.
I know exactly where it is.
This is a cool story, near and dear to my heart. I've read this book from book #1 when it came out all the way to the current. I can't remember. We're pretty deep into this story now. I can't remember what book it's on, but this is by James Tynion IV from Image Comics. Really cool conspiracy theory book. If you haven't read this book at all, each comic book is a standalone story by itself. There's an ongoing story with a character. I don't really care for as much for the ongoing story. There's a little bit of cool stuff going on with it, with Lee Harvey Oswald, which is kind of cool. But the main character, who's kind of figuring things out as he's going, he's okay. It's the one-shot stories that go on each one. Like either you're talking about Bigfoot or the pyramids or flat Earth, or each one has a beginning and an end of that story, which kind of is cool to me. You get excited about each one that you read. But a year ago, or say February a year ago, is when it kind of got optioned for its TV show status, and that's kind of like lingering while it was still hot. This book has never gone like crazy high. There's at points where you think it's going to go really hot, and then it kind of goes back down. But what are the numbers you got on this one, Zach?
So, not too crazy numbers. Not a lot of numbers. Well, there was a lot of numbers. There was over 600 listings to go through with multiple variants, multiple ratios.
What are we up to? The 8th
versions.
Eighth printing or something?
It's at least 6.
Yeah.
But probably 8.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So hard to go through. So I just got the last sold, or a year ago, sold for $179.99, and the most recent sale sold for $79.50. I think I wrote it down. Oh no, $95. Okay, that makes
sounds
sense.
right.
$95 straight. Oh wow. And no, it's kind of interesting. One of the reasons you probably like it so much, it's very reminiscent to Supernatural, like the first couple seasons, where it's just a straight one story. It wasn't about a big arc.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like, there's kind of a little arc going on throughout the story, but not much. It's kind of like one story after one story. And they're all amazing, good stories that really get your mind thinking. And I actually believe that if they can turn this into a TV show that's successful, it's going to help the books a lot, because this could linger for like 4 or 5 seasons or longer, which is just going to keep making the book get hotter and hotter and hotter.
Absolutely.
It's such good stories that I don't think, not very many other people have been talking about some of the stories that are in here. Obviously, Bigfoot's been around, but there's other stories that are pretty cool. So, yeah, that's the drop list of May of 2022. So, check out some of those books maybe you guys have gotten, maybe some you didn't, but a lot of these I think were some good ideas to still buy. It's always a good idea still to buy the Department of Truth, so definitely a good book to go after. It hasn't gotten crazy yet. All right, let's get into some more stuff. So we got one thing to open for you guys. We used to do a ton of YouTube auctions, but they've kind of gone a little bit of a way from the time. Every once in a while we'll see one and we'll get back on, but our good friend Chad RCG had one going a little while ago, and some of our old friends were on there auctioning off some books, and we were able to snag one from Who Dat Comics. Really cool guy. Check him out. Follow him on YouTube. He does a YouTube show, and follow him on Instagram as well. But he put up a really reasonable book, and early appearance of Iron Man, Silver Age goodness, and we thought it was a cool idea. Pick it up. Yeah. Pick up this book. And see what we got there. I don't know if there's much to spec on it, but just a good price for a Silver Age book.
He's dead, but he could come back. Iron Man's a staple in the Marvel universe. Yeah. So why not? Yeah. Why the heck not? Would you not want to buy this?
True. Yeah. It's one of those class. I mean, you get Silver Age stuff. There's nothing wrong with getting Silver Age, but he said it was about maybe like a 2.0, but it actually looks better than that. So it's always a good idea to be safe when you're grading, but Well, yeah, the gold universe got Tales of Suspense 43, or as Zach likes to say, Toss. Zach likes Toss.
Oh, it looks like it's the 4th appearance. Because that's 43. He came out, first appearance was Tales of Suspense 39. So unless he came out in the annual or another...
Should be 4th appearance, yeah.
Should be
so
4th
appearance
wow.
of Iron Man overall. Still wearing the gold costume. Which I think, actually, who drew him in the... Ditko drew him in the gold costume when they switched over to Ditko.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
So, cool. Just a cool book to own. I love those old Silver Age, like Tales of Suspense.
And it's always kind of funny because originally it was like, oh, he was in a gray costume. And then they're like, all right, we're going to make an update. Get out the gold spray paint.
Yeah, right.
It's like, what does it do? I mean, it's not protective coatings, I'm sure.
Yeah,
so
true.
it's a little funny. Like, what
I
the
don't know.
heck?
Maybe to make him seem richer.
Ah.
He's not flying around silver. He got that gold.
It's like, hey, he's not Batman. But at the same time, he's better than Batman. He's wearing a suit.
He's got rockets.
He got rockets. Whoa.
So we just want to say thank you, Houdat, for putting up a nice book for a fair price on that auction. We're happy to add that to the collection. Very, very cool book. All right, guys, that's going to wrap the show for today. As usual, if you like the show, love the show, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you always know when new things are going down. Let us know in the comments down below anything related to the drop list, any comics you were surprised about or that you had purchased and unfortunately dropped down. I know, obviously, we tend to have quite a few books on our drop list each week, so we're kind of in that loop there. And Zach, you got anything else for him?
Yeah, sure. How do you do that is you have to be an adventurer, kind of like you. You know, going on fun adventures, doing this, that, and everything. And then you just happen to take an arrow in the knee and your adventuring days are over. And then you're just a regular guard in Skyrim that likes to tell you that story like 2,000 times during your playing your 2,000 hours of gameplay. Every time you walk by the guy, like, oh, I was adventuring like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee. It's like, now you're about to take a sword to the face. And then you're like, get attacked by 30, 40, 50 guards. And yeah, that's my Skyrim life.
I'm sure some of you know what that means and some of you have no idea.
Skyrim, guys, Elder Scrolls played. You won't regret it.
All right, guys. Until we see you next time, stay safe and remember,
get those Elder Scroll games and count, especially comics.
Peace.
Peace.